Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court Podcast host Cortez Paul.
Along with my co-host Paul Mack.
I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You go to our YouTube channel, that's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Ball Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul is here. The usual, the co-host, Mr. Paul Mack. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my guy. What's up? We're here.
Evening, day, wherever you are. Hey, top of the day, top of the morning, top of the evening. Mm-hmm. Kudos to you.
My man's got the red Solo cup. We're chilling.
Oh yeah, man. This has got the fresh H2O in it. I got my Brita water being filtered in, so.
No free shout outs to Brita.
Yeah. No free shout outs. Yeah. So went to the Magic Suns game, and so too much Cheetos. And then I was at a Christmas party too. Too much Cheetos. So I'm pumping agua down the veins, man. This is the time where Christmas parties is going on and a lot of food. I'm gaining weight. Everybody's having ham and turkey and friendship dinners, and
I'm living my life vicariously through you, bro. I'm telling you.
Are you?
I'm gonna get you a GoPro for Christmas because we got to get that BIOC pod vlog out here. You're doing too much, bro. You gotta capture these. You gotta capture these moments for the people.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I've been definitely tagging the podcast when I get on the road and make sure I'm doing a better job of that, so I can do a little bit more. But hey, man, we are in there. So, but I'm staying put for the rest of the year. No plans of going anywhere, but looking to probably go somewhere in February and everything like that. I got mentioned to many people on the show and Paul himself that I'm looking at going to Golden State and Sacramento and scratch off Arena 9 and 10, hopefully. That's in the works. So to be determined on that, work on the trips.
I'm just out here trying to get that Juan Soto money, bro. Everybody wants to pay me $760 million.
Hey, there you go. So you hear him. So make sure y'all get at the Paul Mack and let's help him out with that wish right there.
That's right.
All right, let's get into it, man. So we got the Bills and the Rams and the Chiefs and the Chargers. Those two games came down to the wire in different. There's a contrast of how they came down to the wire. Bills and Rams was in a shootout, 44-42.
It wasn't a shootout for 3 quarters.
Then it just ramped up.
Yeah, Buffalo put up 21 in the fourth. They made it close.
I got you. So, and then on the other side, the Kansas City Chiefs found a way to get down to the other side of the field and had their field goal kicker. Harrison Buckner is out with a knee injury. So they had this kicker that came in and had a doink of a kicker. So this was Matthew Wright was the one that kicked it up and hit it in, and they ended up winning that game. Thoughts about the top 2 teams in the AFC, and pretty much, Paul, it seemed like since
the Bills lost that game, it seemed like Kansas City is going to be the number 1 seed unless something drastic change here in the next few weeks. But your thoughts about these 2 games, and you can start with either game.
As I told you last week, I saw Buffalo dropping a couple. The Rams are one of those teams, man. Like any given Sunday, I feel like it's just which Rams team shows up. I think if this game was in Buffalo, it's a completely different outcome. I think playing in LA is really, really helped the Rams. Matthew Stafford got rolling, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't know how the hell they scored 44 points. I mean, Stafford had 2 touchdowns. They ran for 3. Here's what's 5, but they must have got one somewhere else. But yeah, I mean, Buffalo was due to drop one. I mean, they've been playing so well. Josh Allen, MVP candidate, and it's one of those games where even this game, I mean, no turnovers, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. They just couldn't stop the Rams. The Rams got out on them early. Buffalo tried to make a late little push, but just wasn't enough time. I mean, they were down. It was 7-7 after the first, 24-14 at halftime. And then pretty much 35-21 going into the fourth quarter. Buffalo put up 21, but the Rams got 2 field goals. So, it's one of those games where it's the anomaly game on the schedule. Like Buffalo has won so many different ways. Josh Allen's making plays all over the field. And I think the Rams are better than their record shows. I mean, they're better than a 7-6 team. So I'm not surprised that Buffalo dropped it. And then, on the flip side of it, Kansas City just finds ways to pull it out, man. Like it's just one of these things. Like they get the ball, 2 minutes or less. Mahomes is going to get them there. And you just gotta score points against them. It was 18-17 or something like that was the final score.
Yeah.
On a doink field goal. So if you're the Chargers, like you're feeling okay about it, but you gotta leave with that victory. You gotta go into Kansas City and get that victory. It's a tough loss for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers.
The whole shoulda, woulda, coulda against the Chiefs, I tell you, man, that's what it feels like. Every time you play this team, Chiefs just find a way to win. But Charger was missing J.K. Dobbins and a few pieces. So Will Dissly got dinged up. So Gus Edwards stepped in and filled the role pretty well. But for the most part, man, this is typical Kansas City. This is a team with the Chiefs, man. Like last season, Chiefs was pretty much a top 10 team in offense. Right now, they're currently mid the pack. They're 16th. So Travis Kelce, who has 682 yards right now, and their next leading receivers is Xavier Rhodes with 448 yards. So tell the tide from this last year, they didn't have 1,000 yard receiver. It seems going to be the trend again this year. A few weeks left in the season. I don't think unless somehow this Kansas City offense that we've been seeing kind of just turn it on for our reason, start really scoring points. I just don't see it. But nah, man, they lost their number 1 threat, Rashid Rice, so he's out due to an LCL injury. So this is a team that was explosive offensively, and Pat Mahomes is finding ways to win when he gets the ball. So he's just pulling that, he's just a quarterback that is incredibly clutch. When he got 2 minutes left on the clock, he's going to find ways to win. He's going to try to get ball down the field. So this team has dealt injuries, but it's just odd to see them come through and win the way they're winning. I think they're 10-0 in games that's decided by a touchdown or less. Their next few games coming up at Browns versus Texans, at Steelers, at Broncos. So 3 of the 4 is on the road. So it really depends how they can close out the season. But if the Bills lose another one, because the Bills got the Lions next. And me and Paul's been very high on the Lions and their offense. So I feel like the Bills lose against the Lions. The Chiefs probably just gonna clinch that number one seed. They probably sit some of their starters, probably rest it up. They also get a bye, and it's been well documented how good Andy Reid team is led after a bye. So Buffalo Bills lose another one. The Chiefs gonna rest up, and they even become that more dangerous in the playoffs, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary that they're not the explosive Chiefs that we're used to. That's the part that's crazy is and without Harrison Butker too, like without their kicker, that someone can come in and hit these game-winning kicks. He hasn't played for a few weeks, I believe. So they've been just keeping on. It's championship pedigree. It's just different, like they've always kind of been a team. If they're down, a score at the end of the game, like you're never really concerned about them making the play. They're always kind of in a game. Like they're just one of those teams you got to get up on them early, make them one-dimensional. But I mean, here we are again, 12-1.
What are some ways to make Pat Mahomes uncomfortable? Because it seems like teams are doing that, but they still can't get over the hump to beat this guy.
I think you can't let him get out of the pocket. I think when the pocket breaks around him and it's kind of just backyard football, that's kind of when he thrives a little bit. Because I mean they don't have the best running game right now, and Travis Kelce is not putting up Travis Kelce numbers. They don't really have a number one wide receiver, as you mentioned before. I mean, Mahomes, you got Pacheco and Kareem Hunt as their running backs. They're running for 80 yards combined, no touchdowns.
Pacheco came back recently from injury, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, looking at Kelce, obviously someone like Xavier Worthy, you gotta watch out. You gotta be wary of the big play. But I think a lot of that comes too from just some of the things that Andy Reid is able to do as a head coach. Like the guy is just a brilliant offensive mind with formations and shifts and the way that he uses his guys, his personnel. But like it just seems like Mahomes, when he breaks the pocket and all kind of hell breaks loose, that's when they make the big play, when they get the big third down. And you gotta you want to pressure the quarterback, but at the same time, like you have to get him down. And it's hard when he ain't the most mobile guy, but he can extend the play. And that's usually when the damage happens. So, stopping them on third down, but that's really all you got to do. Stop them on third down. I mean, they're not running the ball well, so a lot of these third downs are probably third and 5, 3rd and 6, and they're just there. But the issue is, though, as we saw last year, is their defense is very good, so they can play field position. They don't have to score 30 points a game. They're okay punting because they know that their defense can keep them in a game. And that's the scary part, because most teams, it's kind of one or the other. Like the defense plays really well. The offense kind of, leaves a little to be desired. But with the Chiefs, the defense just got to keep the offense in the game. And as the game goes on, Mahomes is going to make a play.
Yeah. Pat Mahomes was sacked 3 times last night and pressured 30% on his dropbacks, and was still able to lead a game-winning drive to put in a field goal position for them to go ahead and win. So Chiefs is still rolling methodically, as you must like to say. So, all right, man. So, pull up the playoff race. There's a lot of interesting scenarios with the wild card and stuff like that. So I went to NFL.com and pulled up their playoff hunt and look at, who's on the bubble, who's in there, who's the ones that's below. As they call it, Super Wild Card Weekend now, because now they add additional teams. So, Paul, what's your thoughts on some of the wild cards that's remaining, and which wild card team kind of scare you right now? Is there any wild card team that scare you, or potentially scare you, could do something, or?
Let me see here.
What you see?
I got it right here. See if NFL.com cooperates here.
Yep. Because
I mean, honestly, the Denver Broncos seem sneaky good. Like, they're a team that I don't know if I necessarily want to play the Broncos. Out of the AFC, like I just don't know. They're a team that they're literally playing with house money. Like they have exceeded expectations. Those are always the scariest kind of teams. They have a great head coach, a winning head coach, someone who's won a Super Bowl, Sean Payton. And it's just a top 5 defense in the league, and those are the things that can hold you in games. And Denver's been really good in close games. They've had a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're one of those teams where, it's going to be an ugly game when you play the Broncos. That's what I've come to see the last few weeks. Is it's going to be ugly. It's going to be a dogfight when you fight Denver. And I don't know if I necessarily want to go. I mean, obviously, it's a tough road for them because they're going to play a lot of road games. But you gotta love the underdog story of a team that had pretty much zero expectations. I mean, your over under on wins was what? 4?
5.5.
5.5. They're 8-5 right now.
They're 8-5.
So
coming in, they play the Colts next week.
Exactly. So then they could be 9-5 after that. Colts aren't the best right now either. So you got to be wary of a team like that, just because again of their coach. He's been there before. He's really managing Bo Nix very well. He's putting him in situations to be successful. It's great to see it. And then obviously on the NFC side, oh man, the NFC side's tough. Like I don't know.
You got a few NFC North teams, man.
You got Seattle. You got Minnesota. Minnesota's a team like 11-2. But I feel like the Commanders right now, they can same kind of boat. Like these are teams that are playing with house money, and those are always the scariest matchups. Those are the ones that can catch you with your pants down. So for me, I'm gonna look out for Washington and Denver.
Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Also, if the Rams can somehow get hot and get in, I don't know if I want to play a healthy LA Rams team.
Rams has a 30% chance of making playoff probability. I'm going to ask you this question here, Paul. You look at the Minnesota Vikings, who's 11-2. Obviously, their record is better than the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. If you as a Vikings fan, I'm not saying you're a Vikings fan, but if you had to choose of who you want to play out of the Seahawks and the Buccaneers, who you want to play against?
Tampa.
Fair enough.
Just because I don't want to have to go to Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't want to play. I don't want to play in Seattle. That's a tough ask for Sam Darnold. I'd much rather go to Tampa. The weather shouldn't be that big of a deal. It should be a nice day for him. And the Bucs have been inconsistent. Obviously, the Seahawks had a little stretch where they struggled a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think they're still better than Tampa. Tampa's still really beat up. So if I'm Minnesota, I want Tampa. So
okay,
that's just me.
Nah, I'm just curious there. Answer questions about, like you mentioned about the Broncos. Yeah, their defense is legit. We know that, man. I mean, mine's the game where they play against the Browns. The Browns really had their number. Just turnovers kind of saved the day on that one. So, but second in points allowed, 6 in rushing yards. I'm a little worried about the Broncos' running game. Their defense is in place, but I wonder who the running game would be on the road. You can't have inconsistent running. And I know Sean Payton likes to rotate his backs. So one day it's going to be Javonte, then another day it's going to be another running back. So they really just do it by committee.
Y'all got like 3 or 4 of them, man. I tell you what, it's crazy.
Man. Yeah, man. They rotate them. So so they're really just trying to figure out their midst there. But I do like the Ravens as far as like just kind of having, I know they got a chance, but their defense is horrible. Just to be generous, like this is why where they are, still, and this is why the Steelers are where they at. because, for the most part, still took advantage of opportunity. Their defense is fantastic. Russell Wilson's seen to managing his options very well. I know they missed George Pickens this past week, and they still was able to latch up a convincing victory against the Browns. So, they just keep running things up there. But it seems like if you're not controlling the clock, and I'm talking about the Ravens, not really controlling the ground game and not be able to have the time possession battle, and if you're going back and forth and have that defense on the field, it's been a problem. And you're thinking about Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, who really should be a really good threat to play against. But you got Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen looking at that defense like barbecue chicken, it'd be a problem. So that's kind of what I'm worried about as far as the Ravens. So Vikings, fantastic on offense, third in passing touchdowns. Sam Darnold's got 28 touchdowns for the year. We have been very vocal about the Sam Darnold story and getting his opportunity, due to J.J. McCartney's injury. So it's supposed to be J.J. McCartney's team, and he stepped right on in. And now for the Minnesota Vikings, you don't have to rush J.J. McCartney alone. You can really just let Sam Darnold pay him a little bit, pay him some money, and let him stay there for a few years. And you got something cooking with potentially him. Daniel Jones has learned the system as a backup. Paul's decided not to have Daniel Jones anymore, so it's all good. But also the Vikings turn over the ball too much. They are 23rd in the NFL allowing turnovers. So 19 turnovers, 9 those being fumbles, 10 being interceptions. So timely turnovers is a big thing in the playoffs. So can you control the ball? So what's the deal here? So, but yeah, Packers. Also, this is the trend of the NFC North teams. I'm just trying to figure out what's the deal with the NFC North teams. Like, can we look at their offense too? But then they allow pass yards, so their passing defense is questionable, 22nd in the league. So a lot of question with a team that can potentially spark a run. You just got to be hot at the right moment, right place, timely turnovers. So be interesting to see what happens with this wild card race here there. So the bubble teams that's on the bubble that can make the playoffs. Here are the projections. You got 20% for the Colts, 14% for the Dolphins, 29% for the Rams, and 38% for the Falcons. Falcons is pretty much going back and forth between the Bucs and that division. So whoever take that division is pretty much just going to be a lot for the playoffs. So
but Falcons are down bad. They're down real bad.
Struggling, man. So man. So that's my take on that, and we'll see how this road. We got a few weeks left in the football season. We're really into it, so it's definitely a fun time to watch. So yeah, man, this is kind of where we're at. All right, who's invited to the barbecue, Paul? Who's been some of your players that kind of stood out this week?
I'm gonna go back to the first game we talked about, and I'm gonna invite Puka Nacua. Okay. 14 targets. 12 receptions, 162 yards, and a touchdown. Just a huge game. I know he's been kind of dinged up most of the season. He hasn't really been able to get going, but it's good to see that because he's a guy where his if healthy, his projections were through the roof with how his season was last year, and you just add that to Matthew Stafford, and like I said the Rams can be scary if they can get hot. They can win 2 or 3 more games, put some pressure on that wild card. I don't necessarily know if I'd want to mess with that offense. Obviously, Kyren Williams was a touchdown machine early in the season, but now that they're able to throw the ball, they got their receivers back. You got to worry about Nacua. You got to worry about what's his face, the other guy.
You got Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? So you got those 2 guys that are just possession receivers. Puka Nacua made a hell of a sideline catch too in that Buffalo. I don't know if you've seen the memes, but tiptoe the sidelines, pulled like a Michael Jackson lean to stay in bounds. But yeah, man, it's just good to see it because like I said, he had a great season last year. And he hasn't really lived up to the hype this year because of injury. Mm-hmm. So if there's ever a time to get hot, it's right now. And teams and players that get hot November, December tend to be the ones you got to worry about. So, yeah, man, Puka Nacua, my Polynesian brother.
All right, what you cooking for Mr. Puka.
I don't know. Some spam and eggs. I don't know. What do they eat over there? Some pork. Get them a pork going. Have them a little. Some Hawaiian rolls. Try to make them fit in. I guess. I don't know, man. We can go
make it feel at home, huh?
Yeah, bro.
Get that man pork. Get that man pork and Hawaiian rolls. Come on,
that's it.
Paul.
I don't know, bro. But
you don't give some pineapple on the pork too, bro.
We'll get one of those nice little deals. We'll put the pig on the. You know what I'm saying? We'll get it going. Give him a little luau. We'll be all right. We'll be chilling, dude. We could watch Moana.
You pulling out all the stops right now,
because he was Maui. He was Maui last week, bro. You're welcome. Okay. My man showed up. Okay. So Puka Nakua, baby. Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna give a shout out to Mr. Sam Darnold. 22-28, 347 yards, 5 touchdowns. Big victory over the Falcons. Kirk Cousins, who was supposed to have a homecoming, it was going to be his, hey, y'all didn't want to pay me. Y'all don't give me the years, blah, blah. And I'm going to make a statement. Sam Darnold said, not going to happen today. They end up smashing the Falcons at home, 42-21. I mean, just spanked them. So there was no homecoming for Kirk Cousins. And they let you know that, hey, Sam Darnold is here. And this is this team for the next few years until J.J. McCarthy's ready. Cooking for Mr. Sam Darnold. I am going to go ahead and actually we're gonna do some sausages with some bell peppers and onions.
He's a big corn-fed white boy, bro. You
there it is. Now. Hey, man, that's what I'm saying. So I'll make sure the side's going to be probably some corn on the cob. We'll go with some mac and cheese. And I feel like Sam Darnold's a dark whiskey type of guy. I'm just going to guess that. I may be completely wrong, but I feel like he likes whiskey. So
I feel like he's like a nooner guy.
So yeah, we'll sip on some whiskey, man, and I'm pretty sure we'll have some country tunes going on, man. So we'll kick it back.
For sure, yeah.
And salute, man, and we'll just talk about how he's doing, man. So that's what my man's gonna get, man. So hey, hell of a game. Props to you, Mr. Sam Darnold, for holding it down. You weren't gonna let Kirk Cousins rule your vibe and have a homecoming for him. Shake his hand on to the next week because y'all still.
He's probably
dominating.
He's probably secured like comeback player of the year or something. Like I don't see how it couldn't be.
It feels like it, don't it?
I mean,
it definitely feels like it. I mean, literally for him to step in and have the Minnesota Vikings like this, where a lot of people, even with J.J. McCarthy, didn't feel like they was going to be this good. That whole.
I mean, just the teams he's played for in the last few years is a comeback story. I mean, he was on the Panthers, he was on the Jets, he was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Just that alone is a Hallmark movie.
Very, very impressive. So, all right. Do you have a this guy state?
Do I ever, pal?
Oh man, let's listen. Okay, cool. I didn't know you had one.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite. My new favorite thing that I started following very closely last season. Not football related because we are in the NBA season, and there's a particular team that went an entire month without winning a basketball game, and that was the Washington Wizards. I believe they were 0-14 last month, and just shout out to the real catalyst behind that in probably my all-time favorite player of all time, Mr. Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has a collective plus-minus this season of negative 254. So for those of you that don't know what that means that the Washington Wizards are being outscored by 254 points when Jordan Poole is on the court. And he is, in fact, your starting two-guard. So just to put this into perspective, they just played yesterday, and he was a negative 28. He was a negative 21 on December 5th. a negative 25 on December 3rd, a negative 24 on November 27th, a negative 33 on November 17th versus the Pistons, a negative 22 back in November versus the Heat. Basically, this guy is absolute dog shit, and Draymond Green, you know what? He deserved it. He deserved to get punched in the face by Draymond Green. And I know I said the similar thing last year, but the more I think about it, playing like this, guy deserves to get punched in the face. He needs to get punched in the face again, because this is crazy. The fact that he got the contract when he was a free agent from Golden State to go play for Washington, and this is what you're getting, and this is your solution if you're the Washington Wizards, and you let a guy like Denis Avdija leave and go to Portland. It's just wild to me how you can, I don't know if you've seen Doug Gottlieb. He used to be with ESPN. He's actually a head coach now in college. He's the head coach of, I forget who he's head coach for. But basically, his team has the number one scorer in the country, but the kid's got a shit attitude, and Doug Gottlieb has not played that kid in 3 straight games, not a single minute.
Wow.
Because he's taking losses, but he doesn't care because the kid ain't learning to have a better attitude and play team basketball. So let's take that whole thing to the NBA, and let's just take Jordan Poole and just sit him down, because he's not doing you any favors. And I know they're without Kyle Kuzma, but Kyle Kuzma is not much better. So if you're thinking oh, well, they're just bad because they don't have Kyle Kuzma, just to put into perspective, Kyle Kuzma's a negative 150 in plus minus. So your two best guys, you're still negative. Even you're averaging, you're well over negative almost 500 points when these two guys are on the court together. So shout out Washington. Shout out Jordan Poole. That team fucking stinks.
So to add to this, Jordan Poole got a new celebration then when he makes a shot. I guess he does this kind of like you're drowning. I mean, I guess it's all relative since you want to mention his plus minus. And then also to add something to Kyle Kuzma, because I wish you would have went this direction as well too. You just mentioned they went 0-14 in the month of November, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Kuzma sent out a tweet about the Detroit Pistons going 0 and something a month last year. And it said basically you don't have to be that team. The Washington Wizards, now they're that team, and the Detroit Pistons are looking pretty decent. The Detroit Pistons are 10-15. They're playing pretty well. So funny how a year changed. That I know Detroit was taking L's, but the Washington Wizards sit at 3-19. That is the worst team in the NBA. Pelicans got injuries for their excuses. They hurt. They're 5-20. The Utah Jazz.
They're bad. The Pelicans are bad.
The Utah Jazz are bad. But I will say this: the Pelicans are bad because they're hurt. Just my 2 cents. They just hurt. Zion, I know it's the same old song and dance with them. They just bad because they're hurt. Even Devontae Murray missed some games and CJ McCollum missed some games. Yeah, Jose Alvarado missed some games. Now Brandon Ingram gonna miss a game to a high ankle sprain. So they're bad because they're hurt. But the Wizards and the Jazz are terrible. They stink, man. So
shout out the bottom feeders of the NBA.
Yeah, man. So, but no, I'm not finna shout on the New Orleans Pelicans, man. I know they doing some injuries and stuff like that. So, let's go to NBA. We can say the NFL picks for last, and we can close it up with that. So, slide over and talk about the NBA Cup, which premieres Tuesday, 7 o'clock. We got the Bucks and the Magic. And then we got the Thunder and the Mavericks. And then Wednesday, we got the Knicks and the Hawks. And then the Rockets and the Warriors. So Mr. Mack, man, what's your overall thoughts about this bracket? And I know you've been vocal about Trae Young, but he returns to the Garden.
Oh yeah, and they got us earlier this year too. Don't think we forgot about that, Mr. Trae Young. We ain't forget about it. So it's gonna be a revenge game for the Knicks. And honestly, with the remaining bracket, like seeing a 1 by Milwaukee is crazy with how they started the year. I mean, I know it's just the cup seedings, but like I know they've been hot lately.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about a team that a beat up Magic team, man. That's tough. Because if the Magic were healthy, I think they run through Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Even with just Franz Wagner, not even if they were 100%. If they had a healthy Franz with the way Goga's playing and the way how deep that team is and how they play defense, I think they could really give fits to the Bucks. And I'm not counting out the Magic still don't pull something off. It's very much possible. But if you're a Knicks fan and you care about the NBA Cup, you kind of like the road we have to win this fake trophy that's at stake. So, yeah, man, I think probably we're gonna go looking at Knicks Bucks. Just because of Magic injuries. Like I said, I want the Magic to pull it off. They played really well yesterday. Jalen Suggs is doing what he has to do, and then when you get a performance like that out of Batase, that's impressive.
Cole Anthony had a good first quarter, man. This is a guy who's been burned the bench, and he had 10 points in the first half.
He's a fire starter for them too. Like it's crazy. He hasn't played a whole lot. He's a guy that gets them going.
That's crazy, man. That's why I said this is an opportunity for Cole to kind of bolster himself back in the rotation. But Cole's been passive, which is unusual. Cole. He's someone that he's got that gunslinger mentality, but he realized the team is deeper and he's trying to get a player set up. But Cole can get buckets when he wants to. You give him the shot attempts, he'll figure something out. And then the block he had on Devin Booker, oh my goodness. So this Magic team got a lot of fight. I give him a lot of credit. I know I count him out. If J.I. plays against the Bucks, he can guard. He can. It's hard to stop Giannis, but it's enough to impact what Giannis can do. So if he does plays, it could be an interesting game. But I can tell you right now, Orlando is horrible. They do not do great on national TV for some odd reason. So
yeah, I imagine they are. If they were able to flex this game with the Magic's injuries, they probably would. But
they would, but because of the cover, it's going to be on national television.
You gotta go on national TV. A lot of these, I mean, who knows? These young guys being on TV, this is the only opportunity they're gonna have. Show up and show out. Tell your grandma, your aunties, everybody that you're gonna be on TV. Fuck it, let's ride, bro. But
make some money, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You get $250 for being in third place, so play for something. You got someone like who's getting all these minutes, like Jet Howard and Caleb Houston now getting these minutes. So you don't think they want that extra chump change in their pocket?
You know what? Knicks beat Hawks. I'm gonna take the Magic over the Bucks.
Oh, look at this guy, spicy!
I'm gonna take the Magic over the Bucks. Something about the way they play, because they play defense.
Their defense carries, man.
Like
it travels.
You know what I mean? Like obviously the numbers that Franz was putting up were crazy, but like if you can get 18 to 20 out of Suggs. Another couple guys getting double figures, and you keep it a low scoring, scrappy game.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah,
why not? So I'll take Orlando, and then in the West, Lucas seems healthy.
This West bracket's gonna be fun. This West bracket is fun. Actually,
I'm gonna take Dallas. I'm gonna take Dallas over OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Is Steph Curry playing, or is he still out? I know he's been out the last couple days.
He's playing.
I know he didn't play the other day. These two teams played. He didn't play.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ride with the Rockets. Rockets are pretty good. Rockets are pretty good. Young team.
We're on the same drum.
Şengün is good, man.
We're on the same drum. Okay.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that guy on TV. I want to see him actually play because there ain't a lot of Rockets games on TV either.
Yeah.
And this guy Şengün is
nice.
It's something to watch, man. He had a poster the other day.
Nice,
You see him? He had a poster the other day. It got called for offensive foul or something. But hey, my man did it.
Nice, bro.
Yeah. So, Golden State's Golden State, but in a tournament that doesn't really carry much weight, it'd be cool if a team like the Rockets or somebody, kind of one of these up and coming teams, kind of get it, build some excitement. So, Houston over Golden State, Dallas over OKC. I think the Knicks win the East, regardless of if they play Milwaukee or Orlando. I think the Knicks are kind of slowly figuring it out. I know Cat's a little dinged up, but I think they're the better team. And I'll take Dallas to win the West, and then Knicks to win the whole thing. Knicks to win the second annual
NBA Cup.
Emirates NBA Cup.
And them niggas are gonna go wild celebrating that NBA Cup. Yeah, son. NBA Cup, son, all day, son.
You're
no, so I got a Knicks coming out the East. As you mentioned about carving towns. I know as Brunson, it's nice to have another guy that can score 25 points.
OG's been playing real well lately, though.
Very facts, man. So, and also for them, Brunson and Towns are shooting the three ball very well. JB is shooting 42%, and Cat is shooting 45%. And Cat has always been a rebound machine, but 13 rebounds a game is very impressive for Cat. I know with me and Paul talked about, man, where New York Knicks size gonna come from? This is what Cat can provide you from a standpoint, getting the rebounds and everything like that. So, and the Rockets, I'm on board with the Rockets, man. I think the Rockets coming out the West. Their top three players are scoring 18, 19, and 16 respectively. And that is in Şengün, Green, and Van Vliet. They're all playing well, and this defense is something else to watch. Their defense is legit, man. You Duncan got these guys playing real good defense, man. They're third in field goal percentage allowed, second in field 3-point made allowed, third in points allowed at 106. So they're tough, man. So I'm hoping the Rockets, and just from a standpoint, so it will be funny to see kind of Luke get into it with Dylan Brooks. That would be great. I say Dylan Brooks. I'm blanking on the guy, man. The guy that started trouble, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
That's the guy.
I'm just making sure, man. I'm like, man, okay.
I got into it with Shea the other night. They had a little scuffle. Yeah. That's Team Canada. They're okay. Team Canada.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping it'd be cool to see if they play against the Mavericks, but the Thunder would be fun too because the Thunder defense is just as nasty. So, yeah, man. So I think it'll be the Rockets and the Knicks, and the Knicks end up winning the whole thing.
Thunder are a bad rebounding team though, without like Chet. Like they're kind of under. I mean, they got Hartenstein back, which helps. He helps them a lot, but they have a lot of guys that kind of play out of position. So they're susceptible. Like if they were to play a team like Houston, I think Houston would out rebound the hell out of them. But they're still a really good team. But I just think Dallas operating on all cylinders, the way PJ Washington's been playing, having Luka back, Kyrie, the emergence of you got Daniel Gafford still. You got all these guys. They're real deep, man. Derek Jones Jr. Deep team. Actually, they got rid of Derek Jones. He's on the Clippers now, I think.
Yeah, he's on the Clippers. Yeah.
Either way, but PJ Washington is better anyway. PJ
Washington, Daniel Gafford. Yeah, they got a lot of good pieces on that team, man. So
they're long. They're long too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing is they can give a team like OKC fits because of their length. But yeah, man, it'd be interesting. I mean, it's the West is per usual is always a good matchup though. Like those four teams, those are going to be two entertaining games. And then the way the NBA has been over the last 2 weeks is it's just been the National Blowout Association. So you got to worry about you got to kind of worry about that on the Eastern Conference side.
Yeah.
But I could see both those West games being extremely competitive, and I wouldn't be surprised if the West took the NBA Cup, but the Knicks are still alive. So, bing bang.
I'm just excited to see the whole how they gonna go at Trae Young again, the Knicks fan. So should be a hostile environment. That's gonna be fun. I know you on. Yeah, I know you.
Is it in New York?
It's in New York. Yes.
Oh, let's go. Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying. I love that. I was like, oh, this is a good matchup here.
I love that. I love that for him.
All right, let's go ahead and get into these NFL picks and then wrap this bad boy on up. Let me share my screen here.
I don't know what our records were last week, but I think I only missed like 2 games last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, impressive.
But we were pretty close. We were on the same page, though. I mean, you might have missed 3. It was easy pickings last week in the
NFL. No doubt. All right. Thursday game is going to be the Rams at the 49ers. This is a division matchup here. And 49ers had a good win against the Bears. They missed all their injuries. I call it a good win because of the injuries. I'm not calling it a good win. I know the Bears are still young and was supposed to be what it's supposed to be. But considering all the injuries that the 49ers are having, it's a good win for them. But you say the Rams are rolling, huh? So what you got, Paul?
I'm going Rams. They're my sleeper to sneak into the wild card. I think they can catch the wild card. So I'm gonna go Rams.
Okay. 49ers too banged up, man. So yeah, I'm going Rams as well. Going to the 1:00 games on Sunday. Cowboys at Panthers. It's your slate to start the 1:00 games.
Carolina's been playing really good the last 3 or 4 weeks. They just keep finding ways to lose. Xavier Legette dropped a touchdown to beat Philly. They lost by a field goal or whatever to beat the Chiefs the week before. I'm taking the Panthers.
Oh, Bryce Young get one in the crib.
Put a nail in the Cowboys season. I know it's over anyway, but I just want to know that their season ends because they lost to the Carolina Panthers. That'll make me so happy.
Smile on your face right there. I hear you. I'm going to Cowboys. The Panthers just been finding a way. They've been competitive, but they've been finding ways to lose. So, all right, Chiefs at the Browns.
I'm getting real tired of wanting Jameis Winston to be successful, and he just keeps finding ways to let me down. He prayed to God that God allows him to stop throwing pick sixes. Just for the sound bites alone, I absolutely love that guy. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Ooh.
Cleveland at home. Who knows? Might be some snow or something. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Okay. I want the Browns to win. I don't think it's gonna happen though. I think the Chiefs end up winning. But I hope you're right, Paul. I really hope you're right.
Probably.
6-7 Dolphins at the 8-5 Houston Texans.
I'm gonna go Houston. I'm gonna
ride with the Dolphins. I think 2 of them show out. They're gonna get a win.
They did struggle with the Jets last week.
Yeah. Texans has not been lighting the world on fire either. So
they had a lot of injuries though. They were hurt.
Yeah. Here's a game. 3-10 Jets at the 3-10 Jaguars.
Jags are bad, man.
The Jets lose to the Jags.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jets. I'm gonna go Jets. Jags are bad.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers get the win. He was like, I feel like I'm back. He said he
wants to play a couple more years. Said he redid his house. He ain't trying to go nowhere.
Dude's nuts.
He has a Netflix doc coming out this week or next week, so he's got to promote that. Jets win.
Does he want to play football? Or does he want to do documentaries? What did he want to do, man?
Apparently, he's the most interesting man in the world, or something. I don't know. There's been books written about him in the last couple of years. There's been all this stuff.
Good Lord.
Amen.
Yeah, Jets win this game. So 1 o'clock game, Commanders at Saints. Isn't Derek
Carr hurt his non-throwing hand.
Yeah, is he out? They say he's gonna be out for the rest of the season. That's what I heard.
Yeah, probably. Who cares? Washington.
Fair enough. Washington wins.
They have the most to play for. You know what I mean? They're trying to hold on to that. They're trying to hold on to that wild card. So I'm gonna go Washington.
Gotcha. All right. 1 o'clock game. Ravens at the Giants.
Oh, it's gonna get ugly real fast. Oh boy. I can't do it, man. Malik Neighbors is upset. It's about to be an Odell Beckham situation all over again with this guy. We ain't gonna be able to hold on to this guy for very long. So he's upset. And Baltimore is way better than us, and I could see Derrick Henry running for about 160 yards against that defense. So I'm gonna go Baltimore.
Baltimore. You broke it down any more than I need to. So Bengals at the Titans. It's your last 1 o'clock game.
Are the Bengals winning right now? They're playing Dallas, right? I completely
They are.
That shows you how much I care about those two teams. I completely forgot that they were playing each other because they both are dog shit. But I'm gonna go Bengals. I think Bengals offense is putting up historic numbers this season, and Tennessee ain't that good. So
game's currently 7-7 right now.
As bad as the Bengals defense is, the Titans offense is equally as bad. So therefore, offense is better than Titans defense. Therefore, Bengals win.
Yeah, Titans just as bad. Yeah, they're pretty bad. So Bengals will get here. So if you got any playoff hopes in the fantasy football, start your guys that's on the Bengals, start their defense. Take advantage.
Don't start their defense. Don't do that. Let's not get crazy. The defense is still shitty.
I'm just saying how bad the Titans are.
It don't matter. This is the kind of game. This is a trap game. This is a trap game if you're trying to play the Bengals defense. Yeah, don't do it.
I hear you.
They will give up 30.
All right. The Pats at the Cardinals. Did I see something that Bill Belichick is in negotiation with the UNC, North Carolina Tar Heels?
Yeah, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I don't know how this relative to it.
And Kyler Murray hasn't won a football game since Call of Duty came out.
Does that trend continue?
No.
They will beat the Patriots.
James Conner's good. Good for him for getting a little he got a little extension last week, so good for James Conner.
Good. All right. 4 o'clock games. Colts at Broncos. Colts make their trip.
I'm riding with the Broncos, man. I'm on the Broncos bandwagon. My team absolutely sucks, so I'm going to live vicariously through Cortez, and I'm going to just be on the Broncos train. Was it last week or this week that y'all wore those sick ass jerseys, like the all white? Was it last week? Those like all white.
Yeah, it was last week.
Those are clean. Those are
pretty
nice.
Clean, right?
Those are nice. Yeah.
So the team that Peyton Manning got drafted by were the team that Peyton Manning had love and adored and all that. So Peyton Manning Broncos wins the game. Sorry, Colts fans. Don't beat me up. 10-3 Bills at the 12-1. Oh, this is gonna be a fun game.
How is this not flexed to Sunday night?
That's what I'm saying.
What game is better? What game is better than this?
The Packers and the Seahawks, apparently.
All right. What do I know? I don't know anything. Whatever.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good game, man.
I think Buffalo was looking ahead when they played the Rams.
That's fair. That's 110% fair.
But the Lions are just so good in every facet of the game. I'm gonna go Detroit.
Lions offense is just really good. As we talked about last episode, their defense, they're plugging and playing their front seven. They're at the crib. Lions win this game. Josh Allen takes off, though. Josh Allen still makes a case for the MVP. So I think he has a good game, but it won't be enough to beat the Lions. Buccaneers at the Chargers.
Chargers.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Let me holler at you, Playboy. I need you. I need you to come through for me. Come through for me, Tampa Bay. Do something for me, Tampa Bay. I'm going with the Bucs. Buccaneers going to beat the Chargers. Oof. I know I'm picking my heart over that, but bake gon' bake.
Bake gon' bake. I love Baker as much as the next guy, but
all right on my
Chargers,
bro.
Chargers.
All right. Steelers at Eagles. Ooh. This game is not a primetime game either.
Eagles can't throw. So, but Saquon Barkley is.
The Steelers can't throw?
I mean, the Eagles can't throw. Eagles can't throw. The Eagles' passing offense is atrocious. If Saquon Barkley was running for 150 yards a game, their season would look a whole lot different. I think Jalen Hurts threw for like 105 yards last week against Carolina.
But we're looking at the Steelers thinking offense too against this defense. Not going to give them a shot.
I'm taking Pittsburgh, bro. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think the defense can limit Saquon Barkley. And as long as Pittsburgh doesn't turn it over, the way Najee Harris has been playing, I don't know if they'll have George Pickens back or not.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
It's a little rough, man. A little passing game. There's a little disagreeing between AJ Green and Jalen Hurts right now. So it's not all glitz and glamour right now for their passing offense. But the Eagles got some stuff going on. But yeah, I think the Steelers get this one. Steelers win this game.
It's truly crazy how good Saquon Barkley's been, though. Like, this team's 11-2,
mm-hmm.
and you see some of these stat lines at the end of these games with how Jalen Hurts is playing.
Yeah,
and you would not think they were 11-2, but Saquon Barkley is, as the kids say, him.
Insane, bro. All right, what we got here? We got the 8:20 game, Packers and Seahawks.
Packers are 9-4, huh? Wow.
The MC North Division is the bee's knees this year. 3 or 4 of those teams are really, really good, man.
I'll take Green Bay.
Yep. Go Pack, go. Green Bay.
They lost a tough one. They played Detroit real tough.
Yeah. And 2 Monday night games. First one is the Bears at the Vikings.
Jesus Christ.
These not good games, man. These Monday games are atrocious. Oh, man.
I wish the dentist was open at 8 p.m.
Oh, my God. Vikings win.
Vikings win.
And then your second 8 o'clock or 8:30 game is the Falcons at the Raiders. Oof.
I guess Falcons.
Raiders suck.
They do suck.
I literally had a buddy of mine talking about the Raiders going to be sneaking up on teams at the beginning of the season. I said, where? It's pretty funny. Oh, they be so good. Wrong.
They ain't good.
They ain't good at all. So, Falcons win this game. All right. That should wrap this bad boy up. Paul, you got anything else to add, sir? If I do it to the closing credits, we're good, man.
Yeah, man. I think we're good. It'll be a fun next couple of days. See where the NBA Cup gets us going, and see where the playoff picture in the NFL is when we link back up next week. But yeah, man, I'm good.
Hey, before we do go, are you a Mets fan or a Yankees fan?
Mets fan, baby.
Are you sorry about the signing?
I mean, 15 years is a long time.
Who's it? Juan Soto. I'm in this group with a bunch of Yankees and Mets fans. So that's all they've been talking about.
Yeah, Juan Soto, 15 years, like $765 million, none of which is deferred. So he's just getting his money. Similarly, when the Dodgers signed Shohei to a $700 million contract, they deferred like $200-something million or whatever. So it's balancing out to being like a $400 million contract because they deferred it like down the line. But hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's weird to think that a player of that caliber would think that the Mets have a brighter future than the Yankees do, because 15 years is a long time. But I mean, if you're a Mets fan, I mean, you're excited. We made some moves. We got some pitchers. We got some stuff kind of locking up. Obviously, we had, we're riding the high of Grimace Mania from last year.
Yep.
But yeah, man, baseball is a whole other thing. I'm sure we can get Brad on here and talk about baseball. So
absolutely,
but
man.
That's a story for another day. That's a lot of money. He's 26 years old, 15 years. He'll be 41. I don't know how that really pans out. But we've come a long way from the $200-300 million contracts of like the Alex Rodriguez's from, decade ago or whatever it was. So baseball is wild. Baseball is absolutely crazy. The way that you can just pay people this much money, and there's luxury tax and all this stuff, but these teams don't care, and you can literally just buy a super team. So
it's nuts, man.
Shout out to baseball.
There it is. I just want to know. I just want to elaborate. I just want to make sure who uses. I knew it was the Mets. I just want you to say and let the people hear it. So
look, man, in honor of the Wu-Tang Dunks back there, cash rules everything around me. That's what Juan Soto's saying right now.
There it is. And that's how we're going to end it right there. That was a perfect way to end it right there. All right, guys. Make sure y'all stay tuned with me and Paul. Next week, we'll go ahead and get some more stuff in, recap what the NBA Cup has turned out to be, what it's going to be, who's going to Vegas, football, all that NFL, playoff talk. So a lot of sports has gone into the gears here. So in the middle of the holiday seasons, I hope you guys are enjoying some fun Christmas parties and all that stuff and enjoying loved ones. This is what it's about. So kick it in. So make sure you follow me, the podcast page at BLC Podcast. You can follow me at @CP, Mr. Mac.
Yes, sir. I'm on X at _Paul_Mac, on Instagram at ThePaulMac520. And yeah, man, I'll be around. I picked up NBA 2K finally over Black Friday weekend, so I'll be grinding on the courts. If you see me in your city, I'll be there. So
hey,
probably get streaming again.
Paul Mac coming to your city. That's right, man.
Right.
So check out the streaming on Balls I Court Podcast on the Facebook there. I know you've been streaming some stuff on there, so that'd be dope. So once again, follow the podcast on X, Twitter, at BLC Podcast, at Facebook, Balls on Court Podcast, Instagram, TikTok before somebody buys it out in the U.S. Still at BLC Podcast, YouTube's BLC Podcast. Wherever you heard the podcast before, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever you heard before. Also, you can listen to us on Thursdays at radiate.fm. So we're there as well. So shout out to that group as well. And nonetheless, thanks for listening, guys. This is another episode of Balls Not Court. This is Cortez Paul, speaking for Paul Mac. Enjoy your day, evening, and night.
Peace.